Hello everyone and welcome to Bhanzu classes. So I hope all of you are doing great, right? So how many of you are super duper excited for this session today at Bhanzu where we are going to talk about division of integers. But before we start division of integers, I hope all of you have recalled what all we covered in our previous session. That is, we talked about properties of multiplication of integers, which were 4 different properties, right? Closure property, commutative property, associative property and distributive property. Apart from this, we also talked about what do we get when we multiply any integer by 0 and also what is multiplicative identity. I hope all of you have recalled it, right? Yes? Great. So before we start with our new topic, let's see what all we are going to cover in this session today. So we are going to talk about a very interesting mathematical operation, that is division. So let's talk about division of integers and also properties of division of integers in this particular session, right? So let's start with division of integers. So before we move ahead with division of integers, I hope everybody can recall what is division. Right? Yes, we have already talked about addition, subtraction, multiplication and now it's time for division. So division is nothing, it's inverse of multiplication, right? So let's see a statement over here, a multiplicative statement over here. So here you can see, my dear students, that we have 2 into minus 6 gives us minus 12, right? Yes, what's the product over here? Minus 12. So now, if I divide the product by any one of the integers, I am going to get the second integer, right? Or it can be other way around, that the product divided by the first integer would give you the second integer. So that is why we say division is inverse of multiplication. Got it, everybody? Yes? So now let's move ahead to a new concept, that is, if you have positive and negative integers division, then what happens? What will be the sign of the quotient? So here we have, when a positive integer is divided by a negative integer, the quotient is going to be negative. Why? See, if you have integer 20, what's our other integer? Minus 4. The first one is positive, the second one is negative, the quotient what you get is negative. Or vice versa, if the first integer is negative, the second one is positive, you will get a negative integer, right? You can take any other examples also. See, 12 divided by minus 6 would give me minus 2, right? Positive integer divided by negative integer is going to give you a negative quotient, or negative integer divided by positive integer is going to give you again a negative quotient, right? So the sign of the quotient would be negative if any one of the integers is negative. Got it? So now let's move ahead to the second concept, that is, so here you can generalize the statement a divided by minus b or minus a divided by b would give you the same quotient, my dears, right? Got it, everybody? Let's take another example where if we have both the negative integers, that is, the first integer divided by the second integer, both are negative. So this time the quotient is going to be positive, right? So minus 54 divided by minus 9 is going to give us positive quotient, which is plus 6 over here. Or let's see the second example. There can be n number of examples like this, right? You can try out with your favorite integers out there, like how I keep telling you in my sessions. So minus 121 divided by minus 11 would give you plus of 11. Got it? Yes? Amazing. So the generalized statement for this would be minus a divided by minus b would actually be equal to plus a divided by plus b. Right? So let me take an example for you over here. Suppose if I write this same statement as 54 divided by 9, right? What is going to be the quotient? It's going to be 6. So you can see the statement over here, whether it's minus a divided by minus b or a divided by b is always going to give us the positive quotient, and that too the same one, right? Yes. So let's move ahead now and do some practice questions. Ready? Yes, because practice is very, very important in mathematics. Just getting to understand the concept won't help us. So let's do practice, right? So we are going to practice these questions now. The first one. What is it? Always identify the signs first. So negative integer divided by positive integer, obviously it's going to be giving me a negative quotient out there. So 75 divided by 5 is going to give us 15. So the quotient for the first one is minus 15, right? Second example, where we have a positive integer divided by a negative integer. So it is going to give us negative quotient. So 64 divided by 16 would be minus of 4, right? And the last one, where we have the same sign integers, whether they are negative or positive, keep it in your mind. If you divide two negative integers or two positive integers, your quotient would always be positive, right? So 36 divided by 4 is going to give us plus of 9, right? Minus 36 divided by minus 4 is plus 9. So I hope everybody is clear with division of integers, right? Whether the first integer is negative or the second or both of them, or if both of them are positive also. So now let's move ahead to properties of division of integers. So in our previous sessions we had talked about closure property, commutative property, associative property. But do they hold good for division of integers? Do they? Let's check it out. So first one is closure property, where we say if we divide any two integers, we are always going to get an integer. That's not true in case of division, right? Suppose if you are writing 2 divided by 3, it's going to be 2 upon 3, which is not an integer, right? Let's see the second one, which is division is not commutative for integers. If you divide the integers anyhow by interchanging their positions, you won't be able to get the same answer. Yes. And the last one is division is not associative for integers. So if you have 3 or more than 3 integers and you divide them by grouping, our final answer won't be same for right hand side and left hand side. So this is how we say this concludes that division is not true for closure property, commutative property and associative property for integers. Let's see then what are the other properties of division of integers. The first one, that any integer divided by 0 is meaningless, like a divided by 0, it's not defined, or 0 divided by any integer would always be 0. But the condition says the integer, the a should not be 0 over there, right? Moving ahead to the next property, which says any integer divided by 1 gives the same integer. Suppose minus 10 divided by 1 would give us minus 10, right? 27 divided by 1 would give us 27. So that is how it works. And the last one is any integer divided by minus 1 does not give the same integer, right? Any integer divided by minus 1 does not give the same integer. Let's see an example of it. So if you have 6 divided by minus 1, it would give us minus 6. So these two integers are not the same, right? Even if you try it out with a negative integer, it won't be same. Got it? So moving ahead to our session, what do we have next is a very interesting word problem, right? We have solved the practice question. Now let's take a word problem for practice. In a test, plus 5 marks are given for every correct answer and 2 marks are deducted, that is minus 2 you will be getting if you have done any incorrect answer. So we have our friend Radhika. Radhika answered all the questions, but her score in exam was 30 marks and she gave only 10 correct answers. And you need to discuss with me that how many incorrect answers did she attempt, right? So first thing, marks for one correct answer is plus 5. So for 10 correct answers, it would be 10 5s are 50. So she got plus 50 marks for 10 correct answers, right? But her score is 30 marks. So how many questions did she did wrong. So marks obtained for incorrect answers would be 30, which is her score, minus 50 is minus 20. Why we are doing subtraction? Because you get negative marks for every incorrect answer, right? So marks given for one incorrect answer would be minus 2, which is already given to us in the question. So therefore number of incorrect answers is minus 20 divided by minus 2. So that means she did 10 wrong answers. Okay. Now we have one more of our friend who did the same exam, Jay. Jay also answered all the questions and scored minus 12 marks, right? So he got negative marks and he gave only 4 correct answers. So how many incorrect answers did he give? Let's check it out. So again, marks given for 4 correct answers would be 5 into 4, which is 20. His score is minus 12, right? So marks obtained for incorrect answers is minus 12 minus 20. So what's the score? Till now it's minus 32. So marks given for one incorrect answer is minus 2. So therefore number of incorrect answers would be minus 32 divided by minus 2, which is plus 16. So that means he gave 16 incorrect answers out there. Got it? So moving ahead, let's see what all did we learn in the session today. Let's summarize our session. So over here we had talked about division of integers with different signs. Let it be both negative, both positive, one negative and one positive integer before doing division. And then we talked about properties of division of integers, right? So I hope all of you have got it. So till we meet next for our practice session, do not forget to practice the questions based on division of integers. Till then, keep exploring and spark your curiosity. Bye-bye.